Mike Owens here, today I'm joined by Sam Patterson, who returns to action UFC 304, Manchester, England. Sam, always a pleasure to catch up, my man. How are things with you today?
I'm good, mate. Thank you for having me back on. And yeah, not long now, 6 weeks. So I'm ready to go.
How are your emotions ahead of a return, and not only a return to action, but also a return to the UK fans?
Yeah, emotions. I'm pretty emotionless to be honest. I'm raring to go. I midway through camp now, so I've got another 6 weeks. So I don't want to get too excited too early. People always ask me, "Are you excited?" But I am. But you don't want to get too excited too early. We still got 6 weeks of hard work to put in. Um, Ask me on fight week, and I would say yes, I'm excited because all the work's done, and now all I have to do is fight. So yeah, I am excited, but I'm maintaining my emotions and controlling it, ready for the night.
Speaking of the night, it will be a long night for some of the fans, some of the media in there. Have you been given any indication what time you'll roughly be fighting?
No, I'm waiting to find out, to be honest. I've been praying that like it's on first fight of the night, but I think everyone on the card is, apart from like the main card, they know they're going to be after 3 o'clock. I'm hoping I'm first fight of the night. Um, no indication. Whatever it is, hopefully I find out about like 3 weeks out and then we can make the right adjustments. Obviously, change my schedule a little bit, start training a bit later, and then I'll be ready for the night.
Will you be doing any preparation in terms of, I know Tom and Leon are hiring like sleep specialists. I mean, obviously it depends on what time you'll be on. I mean, if it's 11, 12 p.m., I suppose it's just like a standard main event in many ways. So if it's earlier on in the cards, will you just be going as normal?
Yeah, like I've been listening to Tom and I've been listening to everyone on the card, kind of trying to get an idea. I've actually been going Renegade. I'll be going Renegade tomorrow, as well to train.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I'm listening out to see what Leon and that are doing. But again, they're fighting at that later on time. I could be fighting at 11, 12 o'clock, which is like a normal main event in the UK. So it's only going to vary if it's like 1, 2 o'clock. Then I'll change my schedule a little bit. But I don't think I need to make the adjustments that like Tom Aspinall and Leon are
Mm.
making because they're fighting at like 4, 5 in the morning, like 5, 6 maybe. So I am listening to them and taking it with a pinch of salt just because I ain't in their, I'm not in their situation.
Mm.
I should be on a bit earlier than that.
What do you think about your opponent, Kiefer Crosbie? Give me your scouting report. What do you think he does well, and where do you think are areas you're looking to exploit?
Yeah, no, he's dangerous. I think everyone in the UFC is dangerous.
Mm.
So I'm definitely not taking him lightly. He comes to fight. He comes to, a lot of his style is he hits and gets hit back. You know, he gets cut in a lot of his fights, and he's dangerous. He comes to brawl. So the aim is to hit and not get hit, like it always is. I do believe it will be my fight IQ will be levels above, but again, I got to go out there and show that. So yeah, I'm not taking this fight lightly, and I'm not taking Kiefer lightly.
100%. This feels like the only kind of. I'm conscious that Kiefer is from Ireland, so I don't want any fans to get on me. But this only feels like the only home versus home matchup on the card because I anticipate there will be an Irish contingent in the co-op live that night. What do you anticipate the crowd reaction to be when you make your walk against an Irishman?
To be honest, I learned from my first fight in the UFC to not focus on any of that. I
Mm.
could be fighting Kiefer in a car park. It does not bother me. I am so focused on the fight and the fight alone. I'll deal with the crowd and everything after the fight's done. Um, None of that bothers me. I am so tight. Like after that, my first fight in the UFC, I've learned to just focus on the fight and fuck everything else. And will be my mindset. July 27th. I'll be focused on the fight, whether it's in a car park, in a cage, wherever. I am so focused on that, the 15 minutes inside the cage and nothing else around.
I'm hoping it's not in the car park because I want to see you both get paid. But
Yeah.
But no, let's talk about your debut. I think that was the last time we probably spoke was up before that, or maybe before Contender, one of the two. Obviously didn't
Yeah.
go your way that night. How do you reflect on that, and what are the key lessons that you learned from that experience?
Exactly like I said, really. I was so caught up in the moment of the UFC and being in the UFC that I didn't think about the fight. I was not bothered about the fight. I already won in my head because I was focused on everything else apart from the fight. So that lesson has taught me to focus on, switch it the other way around and just focus on the fight, and everything else will fall into place. Um, as long as I keep winning, everything falls into place. The fans, the exposure, everything falls into place. But I have to keep winning, and the only thing I've got to focus on to keep winning is the fight. So I will do that. I'll just focus on the fight and let everything else fall into place. That's what I took from my first fight in the UFC. And that's exactly why I know Kiefer's coming to win, because I know what situation he's in. He lost his debut, and I know what that kind of energy it puts on you, and the positive and negative side of things going into the next fight. So I know he's coming like hungry. I'm preparing for the best Kiefer there is, because I know the mindset he's in, because I've been there. I've been there. I lost my debut, and what I come back to do in January. You know, I've been through what he's going through now, and he can blag it all he wants, but I know. And unfortunately, he's coming up against me. So yeah, I'm prepared for the best Kiefer, but July 27th is my night.
It's so interesting, and I'll say this next question respectfully, but you've almost had like in this two fights you've had in the UFC, you've had the absolute highest of highs, a first round finish, and the absolute to an extent lowest of lows in terms of a defeat like that at home.
Yeah.
It's kind of really interesting how you've been on both ends of that spectrum so early on in your career that I don't think there's many fighters who could attest to a similar experience like yourself.
Yeah, no, to be honest, I've actually seen, it was crazy when I did lose my dad. I thought I was the only one, but the amount of people, not like champions and the people in the UFC that lost their debut and went on to do great things, I didn't realize that till after the fight. So yeah, there is quite a few that probably have been in the same situation. When you actually go back and look at what fighters have actually lost their debuts and what they went on to achieve after, I'm now going into that bracket, and I want to continue to make a career in the UFC now and just keep racking up them wins. And yeah, right now it's like the highs, lows. Like this game is, regardless.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows this game, you can be on top of the world one moment and then at the bottom of a ditch the next, you know. So you just got to kind of keep yourself level. And that's something I think I do very well. I don't get too high when I'm winning, and I don't get too low when I lose. I hate losing, and everyone does. But at the same time, it's staying on that level field, like staying balanced, so you can actually manage it whichever way it goes.
Yeah.
And I think I'm pretty good at that now.
Tom talked about this after his first fight with Blades, about when he came back a year later and was fighting Tybor. He talked about it was almost right and a wrong, kind of going back to the scene of the crime. Now I'm conscious it's a different arena, but it's still England. Is there any part of you that feels like that you're trying to right that wrong?
No, I did see Tom say that, and that was his first fight back, if I'm not mistaken. Like he was London to London, yeah. I just wanted to get back in there and prove how good I really am. I'm not at that level like Tom Aspinall yet, you know, like he's up there, champion of the world, and I'm just getting my feet wet in the UFC. So I need to go out there. All I'm thinking about is proving myself right now. Going out there, winning, performing, and just showing how good I really am. So there's no, like, I haven't got that thought come to my head about right and a wrong. That fight's come and gone. I've won since then. I've shown that I can hang in the UFC, and I plan on doing the exact same thing on July 27th. So, yeah, I'm looking at wins here from here on out.
I always find it interesting as well because you mentioned there about the champions. Obviously, we've got Leon, who's the champion in your weight class now. Is it kind of motivating fighting on an undercard when the world title in your division will be up for grabs? I mean, I'm not saying that a title fight is next for you, but it gives you a logical step where you can look and go, especially with a Brit in the main event, where you can kind of the thing you're
Yeah, I
trying to
don't
chase.
think, like I said, I'm early into the UFC. It's great just being around, like obviously going to Birmingham, training at Renegade, just being around Leon as like a world champion, and just seeing how he works and everything like that. That's cool for me. That's kind of like looking up to that kind of standard. And but right now I'm not in that kind of, there's the champ of my division, because I'm so early in my career that look what Leon had to do to even get a title shot. He went on had to go on a 10-fight win streak and stuff. Will Leon still be around when I hit the top of the thing? I don't know. So I'm not thinking like that. I'm grateful enough to actually share the mat with him and actually be in the same room as him. I don't look at, I'm not in like the top, I'm not in the top 10, I'm not in top 15, you know. I'm just trying to get in the UFC and prove myself right now. So if I can take anything from Leon and the champions and people that are higher up than me, like I've been with MVP and stuff like that, I'll take anything I can from them, and I'll just keep adding it to myself, and I'll keep evolving as an athlete, a martial artist, and hopefully when I do hit that top 10, top 5, I'll be well conditioned and a great understanding because of the people that I've been surrounding myself with. So yeah, it's pretty cool to be on the undercard of Leon Edwards, because this is like my third fight in the UFC and my third pay-per-view. I've only done pay-per-view events, so that's pretty cool. And 2 of them have been under Leon Edwards, so that's pretty cool as well.
Talking about leveling up, It must feel nice to get to check in at the hotel on the Tuesday and not have to cut that extra £15 from lightweight to welterweight. I mean, I know you've only think it's the one fight. Maybe you had a couple earlier on in your career. I can't quite recall, but how nice does it feel to be up in that weight class? Because it did feel certainly
Yeah,
from the last fight like that was where you belong.
yeah, like the weight cut now is just like the first £10. Like I'm still cutting £10, still
Mm.
cutting weight, but it's not. I'm not cutting weight and then having to cut more weight. Like I'd go into a fight week killing myself, not killing myself. I'd go into a fight week already cutting.
Yeah,
Like 3 weeks out, I'd already begin the cut, so it would just be continuing a cut. There would be like 20, 25 pounds, and now it's like I go into a fight. I train as hard or even harder, but I focus on the training and then I deal with a weight cut on fight week. And I feel like that's what it should be. I shouldn't be thinking about a weight cut 3 weeks out, depleting myself 3 weeks out just to make weight this time in 3 weeks. I can really focus on the training camp, the training, the skills, and then just focus on the weight cut on the week. It's not easy,
mm,
but it ain't easy for anyone. But yes, if you're comparing it to lightweight, it's a luxury right now. I'm telling you. Like I said, I still cut £10 and it ain't nice, but comparing it to lightweight,
yeah.
yeah, it's easy work.
What would you cut on what would you cut at lightweight? Would it be £25 or would you deplete yourself even more through camp?
No, no, no. It would still be the same. I'd still do 15 £10 £15. But the thing is, I would cut the whole camp. I would have to diet down and get my weight down to being like, I'd be getting down to 70, the whole camp just getting down to 79, going into fight week at 77. So I'd still go into fight week, let's say £15 over, regardless of what weight class I'm in. But it's the kind of killing myself to get to
Yeah,
77 kilos, then knowing I'm going into fight week to do another £15 weight cut, water cut, let's say. So I'm still cutting the same amount of weight, but I'm not having to kill myself beforehand.
yeah,
And I don't feel like I feel like it's the first bit of the weight cut. I was cutting, yeah, the last, like say I was doing £15, I'd already depleted the water from my brain and everything. I was just like whatever was left.
mm,
And I still got it done. I was still professional. I never missed weight, and that's kind of why I went up. I didn't want to start missing weight and be looking like an unprofessional athlete when
yeah,
I'm very professional. So I made the move up, and thankfully I'm 6'3". I'm long. I'm rangy. So I don't feel outsized by these guys at welterweight, and I'm only going to keep growing into this frame. I'm sure if you're going to see my next 10 fights, every fight I'm probably going to fill out even more. So yeah, this is definitely more of a natural weight class for me.
yeah. I love it. Couple more from me, mate. I wanted to get your thoughts on some breaking news this week. Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler is postponed for the foreseeable
I was
future, let's
about to
say.
say, I was about to say which one because there was so much breaking news that fucking everything's getting
Yeah,
cancelled.
it is. It is.
But yes, McGregor, Chandler, yeah. I feel like everyone felt it was coming because of the press conference and stuff like that. A lot of just Chinese whispers, everyone talking. I just waited for Dana to say. Once Dana says it, it's official. Everyone
Mm,
else talks beforehand and guesses, and it goes round, and everyone acts like they got inside scoops. But till Dana says it himself, I just don't. I don't really listen and
mm,
follow it too much. And then obviously it come out that it's been cancelled. So the only person I feel like sorry for really is probably Michael Chandler because he waited a year and a half just to get this
yeah.
fight booked and everything, and now it's been postponed and cancelled, and you don't know what's going to happen from here.
Mm,
McGregor's good. He's good. Like
mm,
he's good with his money. He's set for life. So I'm not saying Chandler isn't, but he's been waiting for this fight. McGregor hasn't been waiting for Michael Chandler. It's been the
mm,
other way around.
yeah.
So yeah, I feel sorry for him because he must be itching to get his hands on McGregor, and that's just been postponed. So it's gutting, but it is the game. Well, I don't know how serious it is. I don't know if anyone knows how serious it is, but it's the game we play. We're not
Mm.
playing golf. You're going to get injuries. It's just very at that level and that magnitude. There's more eyes on it. It's just crazy.
Hands on heart, because it feels like such a long, drawn out process from this fight kind of being discussed. Do you think we actually see it?
I don't know. I'd like to think so, but I don't think one. I don't think McGregor needs to do it anymore.
Yeah,
But again, I understand he's a martial artist and he loves what he does. But it's so hit. And now this being cancelled, I don't know.
yeah,
Again, it depends how serious the injury is. Until I know it said Dana said it was an injury, but nothing's been clarified of what injury, how bad the injury was. again, if he's broke his leg like he did last time, then probably not. But
Mm.
if it's just like he broke his finger or something, just he can't fight right now, but he could fight in 3 months time, then maybe we'll see the fight. I think it does depend on this, like how bad the injury is. We'll make the decision if we do see McGregor again. I don't know.
Last one from me, mate.
What do you think? Just out of curiosity, do you think we're going to see the fight or
I
not?
don't think we do. I think he's moved on mentally from Michael Chandler. I think it's been such a long, drawn out process that fans maybe aren't as interested in it as they maybe were when it was first announced. I think maybe fans' imaginations are kind of turning towards other opponents, and I think probably McGregor's attention is as well.
I do agree with that in the fact that I think by the time this fight happens, I know McGregor still has that pull, but I think this fight's been dragged out so long that I don't think people care for it as much as they cared like at the beginning of it. That is very true, regardless if the fight happens or not. I just don't think the care for it's going to be there. They're kind of going to be happy it's over
Yeah.
and see what happens next. If McGregor goes on to a title, or that will be more interesting. But once this fight just needs to come and go now, I reckon. Yeah, I agree with that in that sense.
Well, turning the conversation back to you and your
Yep.
upcoming fight, I'd like to know, in a perfect world as you envisage it, give me a walkthrough of the perfect fight day. I want to know what happens when you wake up in the morning to when you got to sleep at night.
I wake up in the morning. Whoa, it depends what time I fight. I might be waking up in let's say mid afternoon
Early
at this rate.
afternoon.
Who knows? Wake up every fight day. I just go with the flow. I'm pretty chill. Train, a little workout in the morning. Show up to the arena, get ready, go out there, put it all on the line. Hopefully, like you said, best case scenario, I go out there, fly near me, goes out 50 G's. I'm healthy. I walk out there healthy. He walks out of there okay. Um, Worst case scenario, it's a 3-round war and my hand's still raised. I'm going out there for war. And if anything, like I did the last fight, I'm preparing for 3 rounds of war. Anything less would be is a bonus. As long as my hand's raised, I don't care how I leave that cage. As long as my hand's raised, I don't care.
I love it, mate.
That would be that's the ideal situation.
I love it, mate. Well, look, always good catching up. Great to see you back in action in a couple of more weeks. Have a safe and good rest of camp, and best of luck for the fight.
Top man. Thank you very much.